It's the 21st of May 2020, a Thursday, and this is a historical record of what life's been like during the coronavirus pandemic. So, I'm Lee Chambers, I'm an environmental psychologist and wellbeing consultant, and I'm based in Preston in the UK. And for me, it's been an interesting period of my life. I am 35 tomorrow, so I'm going to enjoy a birthday in lockdown, which is definitely a first for me and been a first for so many people. So, as we started to move, we're now over 2 months into our period of isolation and quarantine. And I think for many people, it's been something that's really hit home just how open our lives are and the opportunities that we have. And we've only suddenly become really astute to those once they've been taken away, and we've had the chance to realise we've actually been quite ungrateful for all the amazing things that we have and all the amazing things that we can do. So, for me personally, I'm quite introverted by nature. I don't require a lot of social contact to be happy, and yet, even for me, I'm starting to miss my hobbies, miss being able to actively see my friends and just spend time in different environments such as restaurants and bars and just be out and away and doing something in an environment that's designed for socializing. So even for me, who doesn't really align with that so much, it's only taken 2 months for me to start to be like, well, I wish I could go and have a meal with my friends again. So really simple things, yet actually you start to realise how important they are when you can't do them. For me, really, my business has pivoted to be more online. It was hybrid, physical, and online at the same time. I had to bring my speaking online onto Zoom, onto Microsoft Teams, and other types of video conferencing. Meetings have had to take place that way. My coaching clients have moved in a similar way where now everything is online, and that's been easier in some aspects due to already having a relationship and built rapport physically with many of these people. And it's been an interesting time to build on my social platforms, on my website, and my online courses and those elements. Uh, it's actually incited me to start writing my first book, which has been something that I've been toying with, but this has really opened up that reflective ability to go that bit deeper, slow down a little bit, and start to think how I'd want to shape that and bring that to the world. So that will be here in around 6 months' time. The book How to Conquer Anything by myself, and I will look back on this in times to come and think, yeah, you actually went ahead and did that. And it actually brings me a little bit of accountability, knowing that this will be there, reminding me that I have a deadline to meet with that book. So for me, again, it's been the first time I've experienced homeschooling my children, the 5 and 7 in reception in year 2, and being at home and trying to homeschool them. It's been a challenge. It's also been a joy, but it's also incredibly frustrating. And it's really tested my skills and my ability to adapt, because I'm not really a natural teacher. I'm more of a trainer and a builder of awareness. And I find it difficult to kind of get down into that granular aspect of teaching. And in some ways, it's been interesting to have that time to connect with my family. Normally, life's quite busy and everyone's out and about, and most of the time spent going between different hobbies and after school activities and making sure that they see all the members of the family and getting that full familial experience. So it's actually been good to just slow down a bit and spend more time out in the garden and just with them in an environment that's not so fast paced. And this has been a real significant period for me, because in 2014 I lost the ability to walk through illness, and that chronic illness has really in some ways taken elements from me, yet I've managed to become resilient and really have a proactive mindset and get back onto my feet over the course of a year's recovery. And ever since then, I've been on medication, which dampens my immune system. So for the past few months, I've been working to optimize my lifestyle, my nutrition, my sleep, my movement, to get to a place where I could come off that medication, especially being more pertinent now that you don't want to be immunocompromised if you don't have to be in many ways due to how coronavirus works and the dangers around that. So as of next month, I'll be medication free after 6 years, which is an amazing feat for me personally, but also shows what other people can potentially do if they really take control and start experimenting with all different areas of the life to see how they can get the best health outcomes they can. And from this whole crisis, I think a lot of people have really banded together. So people are looking out for the vulnerable people in the community, actually phoning the friends and people around them with intention and, asking, how can I help you? How do you feel? I honestly believe it's creating deeper connection and deeper conversations rather than the just, have you seen what this celebrity's up to, or have you seen the sport of the weekend? And that deeper connection, hopefully, is going to shift culture towards a more empathetic, caring, closer knit communities and bringing us back together as a race, because there's obviously been a lot of partition and a lot of separation as people become more individualistic. I think people start to understand the principle that it's great to have so many possessions, and yet do they really matter in the bigger scheme of things? And in business, so many people started working from home, and hopefully that will transition as well to get to the point where we start to believe that people can build their own workplace environments at home and can find a balance that works in their life flexibly. So many people, especially millennials, have been asking for this, but the whole situation meant that in the course of a week, many people went from the office to working at home, and we don't normally have in a situation where we approach flexible working with training, implementation, time to acclimatise and adapt, one day at a time as we get into it. Well, this has been a whole new experiment that wouldn't have been able to take place if it wasn't for the unfortunate reality of having a global pandemic, where so many people now have had to acclimatise and adapt over the course of a week, possibly. And companies have become much more flexible, much more innovative, much more creative, and hopefully that carries through as we start to prevent the future's problems, rather than just wait until the crisis hits and then try and react on the spot, which is never as effective if we've Futurecast and started to think about preventing tomorrow's problems today. So yeah, in so many ways, especially given my environmental psychology background, this is one massive experiment that you wouldn't be able to do without a whole world having to change the way it is. Everyone has suddenly been mandated to stay in one particular environment, to work, to educate, to live, to relax, to sleep. And that gives a massive amount of qualitative and quantitative data to actually look at the effects of not having exposure to nature, the effects of working from home, the effects of educating from home. And that will hopefully help us to shape a future where we can design environments with intention for what we want to do, find ways to connect to that role, and then find ways to disconnect so we can go and move into other situations. Maybe the future of home design will start to look at more home office elements. Maybe offices will start to become, slightly less dense, smaller. Some people working from home, some people working a few days from home, depending on their own environmental need, and starting to make offices, more environmentally friendly, more sustainable, less environmental stresses, and just a more engaging place to work. And starting to look at a bigger picture of a future where communities are closer, people look out for each other more, and there's just those deeper conversations that actually matter, and things being discussed, not being pushed under the carpet, and a future where hopefully we continue to evolve, we continue to understand ourselves better, and we have a more happy and harmonious future as a shared human vision across the planet.